Hello everybody, this is Dr. Langdon, board certified pediatrician, mom of 6 and grandmother to 3, with today's topic that is more in the medical education category than my more typical pediatric advice. So if you're a med student or interested in medical education and training, you might be interested in this. I am so excited. Let me tell you the story of what has happened recently that I'm still celebrating. Well, several months ago, I went to Chicago with NBOME, National Board of Osteopathic Medical Examiners, to help write board questions. This one I think was for COMAT, which is the exam students take after specific clinical rotations. So obviously I write questions for the pediatric COMAT. And sometimes when I go to Chicago with NBOME, it's to write questions for COMLEX Level 2 CE. So this one, I believe, was a COMAT. That doesn't matter. When we're there, we write questions all day, usually for a Thursday and a Friday. But on Thursday night, sometimes NBOME will take us out to eat. And they took us to a lovely Italian restaurant. And at my table was another doctor who worked at another school. There for the same reasons, except she was psychiatry. Well, we got to talking, and I had a baby in 4th year, our oldest Nathan, and she had a baby in 4th year of medical school as well. And somehow when talking about this and how difficult it was and the struggles and all, she mentioned to me that their school, University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio, Texas, had a program which offered medical students a chance to learn about newborn care as they had just had a newborn, and had specific educational academic requirements, a weekly check-in, some reflective writings, things like this. And I thought that was an incredible idea. It's a very innovative idea. So she was kind enough to share with me their syllabus from that school and connect me with one of their former deans who was at another school, and they had a similar program. So I had several different syllabi to look through and pick out my favorite things, and then created my own. I really want for brand new parents to know why it's important to avoid crowds. And so these students with a newborn baby will be learning about the evaluation of a well-appearing febrile neonate. They will be learning about postpartum depression and the Edinburgh validated screening tool. They will be learning about shaken baby syndrome and the period of purple crying. They will be learning about lactation and have assignments to find all the lactation consultants in the local community. They will learn about child protective services. They will learn about wonderful websites like healthychildren.org that has so much good information. And so I worked on creating a syllabus and then mapping out our goals or learning objectives by the core osteopathic competencies. And that took a minute because I've never done a lot of curriculum development. I've done a little bit. When I first got to my school now, we didn't have a lecture on autism or a lecture on breastfeeding and a few other things, resuscitating the newborn mannequins. And so I've done a little bit of curriculum development, but nothing that was this actual a selective. This is considered a medical selective. Now, the way I figured it and the way we're using this is this is going to be a 4-week newborn caregiver medical selective. The student must be a 3rd or 4th year medical student because they're already in 4-week chunks, their rotations. And it could be the mom or the dad, it could be adopted or biological, but it does have to be a newborn because that's the nature of the things we're teaching in this course. It's considered an independent study, and the student will meet with me once a week of each of the 4 weeks and report back on their reflective writings about the newborn's sleeping patterns or eating patterns or developmental milestones, a report back on their 2-week well visit and what they discussed with their pediatrician, a self-assessment for postpartum depression and things like that. And we've made it very clear in the writing that the parent is not their actual pediatrician, but they're just learning from this baby. And now I want to tell you why this is the coolest thing in the world. I didn't have this level of support. I think that this will help these students be better informed, not only as parents, but as physicians very shortly. So if they're 3rd or 4th year students, they're going to graduate in a year or 2 and start their residency programs. And when you're a physician, everyone asks you advice. Even if these students having babies don't end up becoming pediatricians, everyone still asks for advice once they know you're a physician. So I hope they'll be better informed at least about the very specifics of newborn care. I think it sends the right message to the students that we as a school want to be collaborative and nurturing and supportive. And it's also quite innovative and maybe could serve to make us look more competitive when a student's trying to choose which school to attend. So I'm thrilled. And honestly, it's not even an expensive selective to offer because we have all these resources that they'll need already in our library. I'm they can check in with me once a week, and I'm happy to do that. And in fact, thrilled, because I can't wait. They better show me their little newborn on the screen, like Lion King, right? Like, here's the baby. I can't wait to see the babies, because now I'm working in a college health center situation, so just doing more adolescent medicine, and I do miss the newborns. So I am very excited about this. If you guys have ever heard of a program like this, let me know. There are several already in existence. We are not the first in the country by any means, and this concept has already been used in residency training programs, but not very often in medical school itself. And it's just so important to support that newborn baby and bonding and successful breastfeeding, we hope. And I just love it. And we're going to do a little bit of some wellness surveys pre and post, so we can map that out. And hopefully this will be very supportive to these students and to these babies. Okay, there was one more thing I forgot to mention. The other reason this is such an important endeavor is because female physicians, for unclear reasons, maybe stress, have higher rates of infertility compared to other professionals, even when the studies have been adjusted to compare delayed childbearing years. So there seems to be some factor that even further decreases fertility for female physicians. And so how appropriate to be able to have this option to still have a baby or start a family while in medical school, if they so choose. Obviously, no pressure whatsoever. This is just meant to help support those families when needed. So I'm really excited about this. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.